Good morning on Sunday the 10th of April 2022. Now yesterday we were discussing a commandment about not coveting, as it was said, your neighbor's wife, for example. So I've been looking now through the Leningrad Codex here in the Hebrew, the most authoritative Hebrew version of the Torah, and I have the following to report. In fact, that's the 10th commandment and the last one, and not the 8th, but the book is the book of Exodus, as was said very poignantly by our friend in chapter 20, with an amazing recall. In the actual Torah, this is the book of Shemot or Shemois, which, depending on your more Sephardic or Ashkenazic pronunciation, which means the book of names, because it's not called the book of Exodus in Hebrew, it's called the book of names. We'll come back to why that is a little bit later on. I think in Christian translations of the Bible, this is verse 17. I note in Hebrew versions it's verse 13 or 14, depending on exactly what you're looking at, but the text is exactly the same. In the Hebrew text, let's go and have a look now at the Hebrew text, if I can find it. There it is. It's verse Yod Gimel, so it's verse YG. And again, we can come back to that later. It says, Loi tachmod beis re'echa. Don't get all lusty or lovely, or don't start fantasizing, okay? This word chamod, lovely, desirable, and the prefix t with the letter tav, negative. Tachmod, don't start dreaming. Loi tachmod beis re'echa. Don't start dreaming about your friend's house, okay? Now, Re'echa, Re'ah, your friend. Is it really your neighbor? No, not physically. It's your friend. So it could be your neighbor in that extended sense used by Christians that we're familiar with, right? Love thy neighbor, a beautiful Torah and Talmud phrase which is taken up so often in the Gospels as I understand it, right? Okay. Loi, next. A very interesting thing when you look at the Leningrad Codex is that the word lo or loi starts at the end of the line, meaning on the far left. So in, for example, English, that would be the beginning of the line. In Hebrew, that's the end of the line. Don't, it says, at every end of line, don't. Then you have to track to the bottom of the next line to find out what it is you're not supposed to do in a negative injunction, right? This is really, really interesting. There's a huge space before it says don't, and then it jumps to the next line. So these two huge pregnant pauses before it says don't every time. So it doesn't say thou shalt not or thou must not or whatever it is. It says don't. Don't. Don't what? Okay, so it's quite amazing the way that is written, and I don't really entirely understand it. Loi tachmod eshet re'echa. Don't get all fantasistical. Loi tachmod eshet re'echa. Don't get all worked up about your friend's flame, or your flight lice, your friend's wife, okay? Eshet, Esha is the woman, right? But it's from Esh. The word is Esh, fire. Don't get all excited about your buddy's flame, okay? Oh. Ve'avdoi, ve'amasoi. Okay, or ve'avdo, ve'amato, or his slave, his henchman, or his first guy, his right-hand man, but there's a hierarchical notion. Ve'amato, or your maid, or his maid, okay, amato, alright? Ve'shoro, or his bison, his ox. Ve'hamoro, his donkey. What a beautiful donkey, okay? Ve'chol asher lerecha, and everything that is for your neighbor. So I wouldn't go as far as saying everything that belongs to your neighbor, okay? Because this notion of belonging, of material things, does not exist in Hebrew. Hello? Yesh li, I have in Hebrew. Yesh li, there is for me. I don't own it, God owns it, okay? V'chol asher lerecha, and of everything that is to your friend, okay? So, or everything that is allocated to your friend, okay? Thank you very much.